Hello everyone, this is Mumbo here, welcome back, and today we are back on the Hermitcraft server. The sun is setting, the moon is arising, it is episode 60, and I am of course very happy to see ya. Now if you did miss the last episode, then you will have missed me building these two towers here. You may be thinking, those are pretty damn ugly, and you know what? I would partially agree with you. They're not the prettiest things in the world, but they are providing us with melons and pumpkins, all of which are being transported down into the bottom of the base. So that's pretty good. You may also notice that we are over at the jungle base instead of being over at the fishing town, and that is because we're going to be working over here for the next few episodes, just to take a little break from that project. Not that it wasn't fun or anything, I just like to switch things up, keep things fresh, and I thought that working over at the jungle base would be the best thing to do. But in today's episode, I noticed something the other day, that my redstone supplies are running a little bit low. I think, as far as I know, that is all of the redstone that I have in my whole world, unless I've just dumped it somewhere and completely forgotten about it. I have 21 redstone to my name, which is no good. Okay, that is no good at all, especially for someone that really likes building with redstone. So what I thought I would do is set myself a bit of a challenge for the start of this episode. I am going to go off strip mining for exactly 1 hour. 1 hour only, and I want to see how many resources I can get. But I thought I would turn it into a little game, so what I want you to do is head down to the comment section and tell me how many resources you think I'm going to get. Now I want numbers for diamonds, lapis, redstone and gold. So put down your predictions down in the comment section. I'm going to begin this montage and we will see how much I can get. Okay, so I managed to get a good few stacks of everything there, didn't I? What a productive hour that was, and I really would urge all of you to do that as well. In fact, I'm going to start it off as like a little challenge, like a friendly Aber caving event in which you have 1 hour and 1 hour only to gather as many resources as you possibly can, and the winner is only you because you're not playing against anyone else, but I just want to know how much you can get. This is what I managed to do. I don't know if that's a lot or not. I mean, we got, what, 80 diamonds? That's a lot of diamonds there, straight away. A huge number of stacks of redstone, a few stacks of coal, which is quite impressive considering I wasn't really picking up any coal whatsoever. 6 emeralds, a bunch of lapis as well. I mean, really, that was a productive mining experience. So there we go. I am going to dump all of those resources into my chest because I am sure we will now have plenty. Oh yeah, that is fairly satisfying. I don't think I've ever had this many diamonds before. That's pretty good, isn't it? Now, the next thing that we are going to do in this episode, I am fairly excited about because I hate having to manually use furnaces, and I've been doing it for the past 50, 60 episodes now. 60 episodes, it's getting ridiculous. So what I thought I would do is build one of those industrial smelter arrays that I uploaded a couple of weeks ago. And once again, this is one of my favourite recent uploads, so I will put a link to that in the description and also on the screen so that you can check that out for yourself. I'm going to be using my own tutorial, which is always a little bit surreal, but it should be good and it should work very nicely, and we should have tons and tons of stuff to throw in there. It may not look like much, but I have done a bunch of stuff here. First off, we have got all of the chests in place, and I had sort of underestimated just how large this build actually is. So I really am taking this wall to the limits here. We're in all 4 corners, but that is all fine. So that is going to be our coal chest, that is our item chest, and these are the smelted items that come out of it. Now, if we head round the back, you can see it does use a ton of hoppers. That is the only downside of this design. But up here you can see the minecart rails in which the minecart chest is going to be bouncing back and forth on. So hopefully it should work well, and we should get a nice even distribution of items through into these furnaces, so then we can get a really fast smelting array and allow us to get tons of items. Because really, the only reason that I'm building this is because I don't use enough glass, and that is mainly because it is so annoying to smelt all of it up in separate furnaces, then gather it all up. I don't want to be doing that, and that is why we are building this. All of the circuits, all of the redstone, everything is in place now. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Okay, so this building in redstone and survival is so much more difficult than building in creative when doing redstone. But anyway, yes, the 2 minecart chests are now in place, and I guess we should probably do some kind of test here. So I'm quickly going to dump a bunch of cobblestone into here. That will all start flowing in, but we don't actually have any coal in the system just yet. So we'll quickly just head over here and pick up some of it. We seem to have plenty, and then we will dump that into our input chest up here, and we shall see if this begins to work. So we'll head round the back. Right, something has happened. At least, oh, okay. See, this is why you always have to test your build. So actually, this is meant to be a monostable circuit. Alright, I knew there was something that I had to do with monostable circuits in this build, and I completely missed it out. That is why it is important to test things, ladies and gentlemen, because otherwise things like that can happen. Despite that little mishap, I've now fixed it all up, and as you can see, it is working brilliantly. Look how fast all of this stone is flowing into the chest there. So this is going to be an incredibly helpful build here. I am excited to see what the future holds for this one. I don't really know. I haven't got any builds in mind at the minute that are going to be using a lot of glass, but in terms of things like gold, I need to smelt a lot of that, and iron, I suppose I probably should smelt all of this iron ore that I have in this chest over here, I think it is. Yeah, I have absolutely tons of iron ore, but I've got nothing to do with it all because obviously we've got the iron farm. So I don't know, maybe I will smelt it up at some point. But there we go, the industrial furnace array is now done. All I have to do is a little bit of decorating, and I'll do that quickly, and then we'll hop on to something else. Because I got a ton of levels from that little mining session, I thought I would do just a little bit of enchanting here, so we're going to craft ourselves a pickaxe. I still have a few of the bits and bobs from the projects, and also from the mining. I've still got the emeralds here, and oh, look at that achievement, getting an upgrade. That is what I live for, and also time to mine. I mean, really, a double achievement right there. That's what I live for there. But anyway, we're going to dump this in here, level 30. Let's cross our fingers, and oh, yes! Yes, all of my Silk Touch pickaxe have run out. So this is like, that's exactly what I needed. Oh, I've got a beaming smile on my face right there. But actually, come to think about it, okay, I always head over to the Hermit Town to enchant my things, okay? I don't have an enchanting station at my own base, and that is something that I feel like we are missing out on there. That's one of, like, the essentials that you need to have, is an enchanting station. So, why don't we create an enchanting station over at my base? That sounds like a pretty good idea to me, so let's head over there and take a look at what we can do. So, once again, I have cleared out a fairly large area at the end of this stalk. I don't know what these things are called. So at one end we have got our industrial smelter, and at this end we're going to have our enchanting station. But one thing that really did just occur to me is the fact that enchanting blocks, enchanting things, I can't remember what they're called, enchanting tables, they are only 1 block wide, and this is a 4 block wide entrance, and we can't be dealing with that. We couldn't have an enchanting table like off-centered down there. It would drive me around the bend. So instead of that, we're going to have 2. We're going to go from having no enchanting rooms to having a dual enchanting room. There is going to be 1 enchanting table over on that side and 1 on this side, and they're going to be facing each other, surrounded by the books, and I think it could look fairly good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start crafting up these bookshelves. We all know how much bookshelves cost. And I'm going to start to try and get a rough idea of what's going on here without, I'm going to stress that, without falling down this double ravine, because that won't end well. Another progress update for your eyes. It doesn't look like much, does it? It really doesn't look like much, and that is the most disappointing thing here. Because, as I mentioned just a second ago, bookshelves are stupid expensive now that books require leather. It's so hard to get large amounts of leather in a short space of time, especially with this god-awful cow farm that I have here. Let's take a look at it. Let's just admire this, right? I was getting leather from these guys. It took so long. It was crippling. But I have managed to create something that remotely looks good, and I have actually placed more bookshelves than I needed, and that is quite simply because I think it looks better like that. I was originally going to go for like the Spawn Town look, you know, with the bookshelves going all the way around the room. No thanks. I don't even know how Exuma managed to get that much leather. In fact, he's online right now. I'm tempted to ask him because it's taken so long to do this. But here we are. This is what the enchanting room is going to be looking like at the minute. And I'm fairly happy with the way that it looks. At least, like, the way the layout is. I don't know if we are going to be using these blocks as the final ones. I was considering doing something fancy with the ceiling that I've actually forgotten right now, but I'm sure it will come back to me. But yes, this should be a fairly nice looking room, to say the least. So I'm going to keep playing around with it, seeing what I can come up with, and we shall see what I do. Just another really quick progress update for you. I have done a little bit more on the enchanting area, and this time I have added in the floor, as you can quite clearly see. Now, it's not really been too much, but I thought it was worth noting, so what I've done is I've put some stone bricks in the middle. I know, it's boring. This room is going to be pretty grey, which is a bit of a shame, but there we go. My buildings recently just seem to be coming out grey quite a lot. I might have to do something about that. But anyway, we also have the added detail of the furnaces going around the outside. The jack-o'-lanterns here using the pumpkins that I've got from the pumpkin farm, which is working like a charm, I may say. And then inside each one of the enchanting rooms, we have got ourselves a little bit of colour in the form of cyan wool, or cyan wool. I don't know how to say that word. Now, I don't know how that's going to look in anyone else's texture pack, but in mine, it looks pretty good, so I am going to be keeping it for the minute. But as far as the roof is concerned, like I say, I don't really know what I'm going to do. I'll just have a play about with the various materials made available to me, and see if anything good comes out of it. So, I don't really know what to think about this. Roofs, they are my nemesis. I have no idea what to do with them. I mean, if you look at this roof, it's boring. This one here, I don't know. I personally think it's okay, but that is because it just uses all of my favourite blocks. In one build, this has used all of my favourite blocks. We've got iron, we've got the stone brick, the stone half slabs, more stone brick, a few bookshelves, they're always nice, they're just too expensive for me, and the spruce wood, that is always going to look good. But I don't know. I honestly cannot tell with this one. So, you know what? I am going to stick with it for today because I think it looks okay personally. There's probably a ton of you down in the comment section just going ham down there, just punching up your keyboard saying it looks disgusting, but I'm not really that bothered because I quite like this and I think I'm going to stick with it at least for the minute. Now, the last thing that we have to do is we have to get some enchanting tables, put them in place here. Then what I'm going to do is head over to the Ender, get myself 60 levels and christen each one of these enchanting tables. I think that'll be pretty good fun, so let's begin. Back over at the base now, and I have got some serious cramp in my right hand from clicking so long, but yes, we are at level 60. So what I was thinking we could do is we should do an axe enchantment, so I'll quickly craft up the axe. And actually, I don't have enough space in my inventory here, so we'll just dump out some coal, and we will do a shovel as well. So an axe and a shovel, and we are going to do one enchantment per enchanting table, just so you can get the first enchantment out the way, break that up. So first off with the right one, we are going to put the axe in, and here we go. Fingers, toes, and whatever else you can cross them please, because we have got ourselves a good axe. That isn't too bad. Unbreaking 3, efficiency 4. I like that. That's pretty good. And then over on this side, the old spoon. Let's put it in here, and oh, that's sort of pointless, but it is still worth having. So there we go, 2 awesome enchantments from 2 awesome looking enchantment tables, may I just say. So there we go, that's pretty good. One very fast thing that I want to do just now is I want to do a little bit of work on our minecart track. Now by this, I don't mean any work on the stuff on the top or any of the decoration stuff, because I personally feel like that is fine. What I do need to do, however, is I need to put a track down at the bottom that is considerably faster than the one at the top, because as you know, the one at the top, you keep getting stuck and is really annoying to use. So like I say, I'm going to put a minecart track down here. Hopefully this one will be a little bit quicker and a little bit more easy to use, so let's get to it. Now I just thought I would take this very quick opportunity to have a very quick, like extremely small chat to you about a few of the things that are on my mind right now. So the first thing that I want to mention is the fact that I have got myself some new t-shirt designs. Hurrah! I know, okay, when I first made the announcement that I had a t-shirt shop, a lot of people got very excited about it and then got fairly disappointed by it, and that is because a lot of the designs on there, you know, they're very not boring, I don't want to say they're boring, I really like them, but quite a lot of people wanted sort of more arty based designs. So I took that feedback and I got in touch with a few designers, because I myself cannot draw for my life. So I was like, right, I'm gonna have to get in contact with some designers, and Iona Ruth designed an absolutely brilliant looking t-shirt. It is amazing. When it came through, I was like, yes, I fist pumped and everything, and I put it straight on a t-shirt, and now it is straight in my merchandise shop. So, I will put a link to Iona Ruth down in the description, put a link to her YouTube channel and her Twitter, so you can check her out there, and also I will put a link to my t-shirt shop down below as well, so that you can check it out for yourself and see all of the wonderful t-shirts that I now have on offer. So that is really awesome. Now the next thing that I want to mention is the fact that in the previous episode of Hermitcraft, I said that I was going to be doing 3 redstone videos a week. Now I was thinking about this earlier, and I was like, wow, okay, that is a lot of ideas to come up with. I personally am struggling enough as it is, coming up with 2 ideas for redstone videos a week. If you add in a third, I'm going to be too stressed and I won't be able to do it. So I was like, I need to come up with something new. I need to come up with something fresh. So here it is. Here is my bold idea. I tweeted it out and the Twitter followers went absolutely mental about it. So here we go. I am going to be doing a redstone based Let's Build series. Basically, I am going to be doing like a Let's Build Crazy Science Lab, or Let's Build the Batcave, or Let's Build Tony Stark's basement. I don't know, just a crazy redstone based build, and I'm going to build it over sort of 4 or 5 episodes, and then on the 5th episode, I will put a world download in the description so that you can check it out, take a look at all of the things that you have seen me building over the weeks. I think that will be really, really fun, and I hope that you're excited for it. So there we have it, guys. Our minecart rail, our speedy version of the minecart rail, goes from one base all the way over back to the jungle base, and that is really good. This should mean that I'll be able to travel between my bases a lot easier, because it really was very annoying having to use that one up there. We had to hold W all the time. This one we should just be able to fly along back and forth. At least if the lag spikes don't get me. Wow, that was right on cue, wasn't it? I mean, really, these lag spikes, they are getting worse and worse. It might be all the redstone that I keep adding to my base, probably isn't helping the situation. But anyway, I hope that you did enjoy this video. I had a lot of fun recording it, I must say. I feel like we got a decent number of projects done, even if they were a little bit smaller than the usual. But anyway, if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.